Picture this. It's the middle of winter. The power goes out. No warning, no time to prepare. Suddenly you're sitting in complete darkness with no heat, no way to cook, and no way to call for help. Outside, the temperature is dropping fast, but inside, it's not much better. Your fridge, dead. Your furnace, silent. Your phone, good luck. It's about to die. This isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. A winter power outage isn't some Hollywood horror flick, it's real. Pipes start to freeze and burst, turning your home into a bone-chilling hazard zone. Food goes bad. Getting water? Forget it. And you? You're sitting smack in nature's ruthless chokehold. If you're not prepared, good luck toughing it out when your safe space becomes a freezer overnight. Think about it. How long can you last when your survival depends on what you've got close by? Here? But here's the deal. It doesn't have to be this way. Being ready isn't just smart. It's the difference between staying safe or being blindsided by the brutal grip of winter. I'm talking about prepping. The right plan, the right mindset, and most importantly, the right gear can tip the scales in your favor. Today we're breaking down the 10 prepping items you need to survive a winter power outage. No fluff, no nonsense, just cold, hard facts about what it takes to face the unimaginable and come out on top. Because in a winter blackout, every second matters. The clock is ticking. Are you ready? You better be. Stick around and I'll show you how to stack the odds in your favor when the lights go out. 10 non-perishable food supplies. When the power cuts out during a brutal winter storm, hunger isn't just a discomfort, it's a quick road to failure. A winter blackout can strip you of your fresh food in less time than it takes for the temperature in your house to drop. No power means your fridge transforms into a useless box of spoiled leftovers. Got no plan for that? Then you might as well brace yourself for despair. Non-perishable food supplies aren't just an addition to your prep list. They're your lifesaver. If you've been ignoring this step, you're only setting yourself up for regret. Imagine the cold wind howling outside, your house dark and freezing, and your stomach growling louder than the storm. The last thing you need is to realize too late that your kitchen is a graveyard of rotting food. What you need is simple but vital. Canned goods, freeze-dried meals, and energy bars. These are the ultimate winter blackout essentials. Canned foods? They keep you fed with soups, stews, or vegetables long after the power is gone. But don't be foolish. Get a manual can opener while you're at it. Sure, it feels obvious now, but trust me, you don't want to be the one sitting in the dark, staring at sealed cans you can't touch as hunger digs in. Then there are freeze-dried meals. With just a bit of water, these lightweight, long-lasting meals become piping hot nourishment. Think pasta, rice dishes, or hearty breakfasts that can keep your body fueled for days. They're built to survive, just like you need to be. On the other hand, energy bars are your go-to snack for immediate calories when you can't think straight or need to conserve energy. They might be small, but these little blocks of sustenance pack enough power to keep you alert and even warm, thanks to the energy your body burns. Now listen up and listen well. The worst thing you can do is wait until the snow starts falling or until the news says the storm's on its way. By then it's over. Store shelves will be empty because everyone without a plan will panic buy everything in sight while you're left scrambling with nothing to show for it. You have to prepare now. Stock up before the masses wipe out the stores. Don't assume you'll get around to it later because, spoiler alert, later never comes. The problem is to assume that later even matters because, spoiler alert, later never comes. Every day you delay is one step closer to disaster. Non-perishable food supplies could be the difference between surviving the icy grip of winter and being yet another cautionary tale of what happens when you're unprepared. Get ready now. Because the storm doesn't care about your excuses, and when that power outage hits, it's every person for themselves. Don't be caught empty-handed. 9 clothing and blankets, your lifeline in the cold. When the power goes out during a harsh winter storm, the frigid cold doesn't wait. It invades your home immediately. Without preparation, your warm, comfortable house becomes an icebox. And staying warm is no longer just about comfort, it's about survival. You need to have the right clothing and blankets ready because when the heat stops, the cold doesn't just creep in, it crashes in like an unstoppable force. Safe, perfect clothing. It fits you like a hose. You can find Safe Perfect online at safeperfect.net, and Safe Perfect is powered. Forget about your stylish hoodie or your everyday bedding. That won't cut it when temperatures drop below freezing. You need layers, and lots of them. Thermal underwear, heavy sweaters, insulated jackets, wool socks. These aren't optional. They're your armor. And don't overlook good gloves, scarves, and hats. If you're not layered up properly, the cold is going to hit you where it hurts, especially your hands, feet, ears, and most importantly, your head. Lose heat there, and you're inviting hypothermia. But don't make the mistake of thinking clothes alone will save you. Blankets, heavy, duty, warm blankets are a must. Stockpile them like your life depends on it, because it might. Fleece blankets, wool blankets, massive thermal ones that hold heat in even when temperatures drop into the single digits. These are your shield against the relentless cold. Think about it this way. When that blackout stretches through the night, what's keeping your family from turning into human icicles? Those blankets better be ready. And while we're on the subject, emergency sleeping bags are non-negotiable. These aren't camping luxuries, they're survival gear. The reflective interiors trap your body heat, keeping you alive when the temperature does everything it can to steal that heat away. Without them, hypothermia won't take long to set in, and if you're not prepared, it'll be too late before you even realize it. Ha! Picture the scene. A snowstorm outside, icy winds howling, your house steadily losing all warmth. Are you and your family bundled up in layers, wrapped in heavy blankets? Or are you shivering in silence, regretting not taking this seriously? Winter blackouts don't care about your comfort or your lack of preparation. They're a brutal test of survival. You either prepare or you freeze. Don't gamble with the harsh reality of winter outages. Layers, blankets, sleeping bags, these aren't extras, they're essentials. Get them now while you can before the storm turns your home into a freezer. Because when the power's out and the cold takes over, it's already too late to start planning. 8. First aid kit. When winter power outages hit, there's no avoiding the increased risk of accidents, injuries, and emergencies. Imagine shattering a glass lamp in the dark and slicing your hand open or developing a severe fever while freezing temperatures close in. The harsh truth is, without proper preparation, even minor medical issues can escalate quickly into life-threatening situations, and in a blackout, don't expect help to arrive anytime soon. That's why a first aid kit isn't optional, it's your lifeline. But here's the thing, tossing a few Band-Aids and ibuprofen in a box isn't nearly enough. Your first aid kit needs to be stocked and ready for the chaos that a winter blackout can bring. Start with the basics like sterile gauze, medical tape, scissors, tweezers, and antibiotic ointment for cuts and wounds. So these are non-negotiables. Now think about the cold. Frostbite can set in faster than you expect, so pack hand warmers and thermal blankets. You might think, what are the odds? But in freezing temperatures, every degree of warmth matters. And don't forget burn ointments, because lighting a makeshift fire or using candles in desperation can go from bad to worse in seconds. Winter blackouts also crank up the risk of slips and falls, thanks to hidden ice in pitch-black conditions, and a sprain or fracture in a power outage isn't just painful. It's dangerous. Your kit should include items like elastic bandages, splints, and even finger splints to deal with such injuries on the spot. Another must? A thermometer. Hypothermia is sneaky. It doesn't announce itself until it's too late. Knowing what's happening with your body could be the difference between life and death. And while you're at it, throw in cold medications, painkillers, and a few antihistamines. A flu or fever in sub-zero temperatures can cripple you faster than you think. Here's the brutal reality. When the lights go out, you're on your own. At Christmas time, your food supply, your usual lunch plate, your Christmas wrappings, the latest YouTube video, and a few glasses of wine. Certain things like that. When the help might not show up for hours, maybe days, every tool in your first aid kit could buy you precious time. And don't just stash it away and forget about it. Know where it is, and make sure everyone in your house knows too. Not 3 drawers deep in some dark corner. A first aid manual is also worth its weight in gold. Panicking in an emergency never ends well, and a guide can walk you through what needs to be done. Famine preparedness, the principle, Cornwallis. The bottom line? This isn't just a kit. It's your armor to face the hazards of winter's worst moments. Double check it, expand it, and know it inside out, because there are no second chances in these conditions. 7. Backup heat source. Picture this. A brutal winter storm rolls in, taking out the power grid. You're sitting in your living room, bundled up in every blanket you own, but the cold is still biting through. Your furnace is dead, the temperature inside your house is plummeting, and you're rapidly running out of options. Without backup heat, survival suddenly isn't guaranteed. Yeah, think about that. Without heat, the risk isn't just getting cold. It's frostbite. It's hypothermia. It's death. A backup heat source isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. One solid option? Propane heaters. These bad boys can crank out heat fast, but don't get reckless. You need to make sure you're using a model certified for indoor use. Why? Carbon monoxide poisoning. You won't see it, you won't smell it, but if you use the wrong heater in an enclosed space, it'll kill you. End of story. To stay alive, grab a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector and always keep the area ventilated when using propane heat. It's non-negotiable. Now, propane heaters aren't the only game in town. A wood-burning stove is an excellent alternative. These are reliable, effective, and capable of pumping out enough heat to keep you alive during a blackout. But here's the catch. You need a stockpile of seasoned firewood, ready to go before disaster strikes. If you think you're going to find dry wood during a blizzard, you're kidding yourself. Without preparation, desperation sets in. That's when people make dangerous choices. Burning random furniture or scraps just to stay warm, it's not safe and it's not sustainable. Plan ahead. Have enough firewood on hand to outlast an extended winter storm. Think of it like this. Without heat, you're not just uncomfortable, you're vulnerable. The longer the blackout lasts, the harder survival becomes. The just throw on an extra blanket strategy that's going to fail when temperatures inside hit sub-zero levels. The cold will start to invade every corner of your home, sapping your strength and your will to go on. Don't wait until the storm to figure this out. Winter doesn't care about your lack of planning, and it won't be forgiving. No one talks about how the psychological toll of freezing temperatures can crush you too. Endlessly shivering through hours that feel like they'll never end? That's not how you want to spend a blackout. A reliable heat source doesn't just save your body, it saves your sanity. Whether you go with a propane heater, a wood-burning stove, or both, make sure you're ready before the snow starts to fall. Stock up on the right tools, get the supplies you need, and double-check that everything's set up safely. Don't underestimate winter. It's relentless, it's ruthless, and it doesn't wait for you to figure it out. A reliable backup heat source is the difference between surviving and becoming another statistic. 6. Your tools are your armor against winter's fury. Are you truly ready to face the brutal forces of winter? I'm not talking about sitting by a fireplace sipping hot cocoa. I'm talking about survival when nature turns hostile. Without the right tools, you're not just unprepared, you're vulnerable. Winter doesn't mess around, and if you're not geared up, you'll find out fast that Mother Nature shows no mercy. Axes, shovels, duct tape, and a reliable multi-tool. These aren't just items lying around in your garage. They're the difference between staying alive or becoming another cautionary tale. Imagine this. It's freezing, so cold that your home feels like an icebox. You're trapped. The snow outside has piled up to your waist, sealing your doors shut. Your windows are fogged and starting to ice over from the inside. And so, no power, no heat, no help on the way. If you don't have the right tools on hand, you're in trouble, real trouble. Survival starts with preparation, and it starts now. First up, the axe. If you think an axe is just for chopping firewood on a camping trip, wake up. An axe is your weapon against the cold. When temperatures drop into the single digits and your fire is burning out, grabbing an axe to gather more wood isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Whether it's splitting logs for kindling, clearing out fallen branches that block your path, or even breaking apart frozen debris, a sturdy axe is absolutely essential for survival. It's not a nice to have, it's a better not forget. Next, let's talk about the humble shovel. You might underestimate it, but don't. A shovel is your key to mobility and freedom in a snowstorm. When snow and ice bury your doorways, stack up against your windows, or trap your car in the driveway, a shovel is all that stands between you and total isolation. Without one, you're stuck. Simple as that. Invest in a good, durable one, because flimsy plastic won't cut it when the snow piles up thick and heavy. And while you're at it, grab some ice melt or rock salt to keep your walkways clear when temperatures plunge. Now here's where we get practical. Duct tape. Laugh if you want to, but duct tape will save you time and time again. Winter will expose every weakness in your home, from cracks in your windows to busted pipes. That ice-cold draft blowing inside? Seal it up with duct tape. A burst pipe spraying water during freezing conditions? Patch it up temporarily with duct tape until it can be fixed properly. If you don't already have rolls of this stuff in your prepping stash, you're not as prepared as you think. Lastly, don't sleep on the multi-tool. You don't know how valuable this compact gadget is until you need it, and trust me, when you're in survival mode, you'll need it. Blades, screwdrivers, pliers, bottle openers, it's pocket-sized chaos control. Cutting through frozen zip ties, tightening screws, opening stuck cans, or even making small repairs, a multi-tool does it. Keep it on you at all times, because in an emergency, every second counts and you don't want to be fumbling around looking for tools. 5. Portable generator. When winter storms hit, the power grid always seems one gust away from total failure. Without warning, the lights are gone, the heat disappears, and your home turns into a freezing, silent tomb. Are you prepared to face that? If you don't own a portable generator, the blunt truth is you're asking for trouble, because once the power is out, you're completely at the mercy of the storm. Picture this scenario. It's below freezing, the wind howls outside, and inside the temperature is plummeting. Your home slowly transforms into an icebox. No heat, no lights, no way to charge your phone, and no way to keep your food from spoiling. Without a generator, this isn't just inconvenient, it's downright dangerous. A portable generator isn't a luxury for winter prepping, it's a lifeline. When the grid shuts down, it ensures that your heaters stay running, your food stays fresh, and critical devices like CPAP machines or other medical equipment don't leave you stranded. It's that thin line standing between you and the devastating effects of prolonged power loss. But don't kid yourself. Owning a generator isn't just a matter of tossing it in your garage and forgetting about it. You need to prepare now, not when disaster strikes. Stockpile enough fuel to last at least a few days and store it safely. Make sure you know how to start and safely operate your generator, and never, I repeat, never run it indoors or close to windows. It's a carbon monoxide hazard waiting to happen. Install detectors to protect yourself from this invisible and deadly gas. Failing to take these steps could mean the difference between getting through a storm or becoming another statistic. Without power, food will spoil in your fridge. You'll lose all ability to communicate with the outside world when your phone dies. Worst of all, the bitter cold could turn into a life-threatening situation for you and your family. You need to stop thinking it won't happen to me and face reality. Power outages in winter are common, and without a portable generator, you're gambling with your safety. This is about survival, not just enduring the storm, but coming out the other side intact. Hope isn't a strategy, preparation is. A portable generator might not seem exciting or glamorous, but it's one of the most important items on your winter survival list. Learn how to use it. Stock up on fuel. Get ready before the power goes out, because once it does, it's already too late. Don't leave your family freezing or helpless. Get a generator. Don't wait for the storm to teach you why you should have listened. 4. Bottled water and purification tools. When a winter storm barrels through, cutting power and turning your home into a freezing tomb, the most critical resource you'll need to survive is clean water. Now imagine this. You twist the faucet handle, expecting the familiar rush of water, and instead, silence. Nothing. Just a cold, empty silence. No clean water, no way to hydrate, cook food, or even wash. That's not just an inconvenience. It's a deadly problem. A winter power outage can wreak havoc on water supplies in ways you might not expect. Pipes freeze and crack, sometimes contaminating your water supply or shutting it off completely. Even if there's snow outside, don't think you can just melt it and drink it. Snow and other natural water sources might look pristine, but they're often loaded with bacteria, viruses, or toxic contaminants you can't see with the naked eye. Drinking untreated water can lead to dehydration, food poisoning, or even waterborne illnesses, all of which can cripple you at the worst possible time. And this is why having a solid backup plan for water isn't optional, it's essential. You need enough bottled water to keep every member of your household alive for at least 3 days, ideally longer if you have the space to store it. That means at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and don't stop there. Bottled water alone isn't enough if this blackout drags on longer than you've planned for. And once those bottles run dry, you'll be forced to look for other water sources, and that's where things get risky. To handle this, you absolutely need water purification tools. Don't gamble with melted snow or creek water unless you've come prepared. One of the easiest solutions is purification tablets. They're small, lightweight, and quick to use when things get desperate. Portable water filters are another lifesaver, allowing you to turn almost any disgusting water source into something drinkable. Think about it. Without clean water, you're not just thirsty, you're vulnerable. Your body shuts down when dehydrated. You can't cook, you'll face sickness, and you'll become yet another victim waiting for rescue that may not come. Do not shrug this off. A winter outage is no joke, and the middle of a storm is no time to figure out the importance of water. Stock up now. Have your bottled water, have your filtration gear, and sleep knowing you and your family won't be left helpless in the freezing, unforgiving dark. 3.3 Emergency lighting. When a winter blackout strikes, the last thing you want is to be swallowed by relentless, oppressive darkness. Think it's no big deal? Think again. Darkness isn't just an inconvenience, it's a threat. No light means accidents waiting to happen, panic setting in, and the danger of navigating your home turned into a treacherous ordeal. If you're not ready with reliable emergency lighting, you're setting yourself up for failure, plain and simple. Unpaid. Let's get one thing straight. Having just one flashlight isn't good enough. You need multiple lighting options, and you need them ready to go. Start with flashlights. Simple, portable, and dependable. But don't rely on just the cheapest one you can find. Get the heavy-duty, long-lasting ones that won't die on you when you need them most. Scatter them throughout your house, bedroom, kitchen, garage. And don't forget batteries. Lots of them. A flashlight without batteries is about as useful as a car with no gas. But don't stop at flashlights. Lanterns are a game changer. They flood the room with light, keeping the pitch black at bay and letting you actually function. Go for rechargeable ones or even better, crank-operated lanterns. Why? Because when your power's down, you can't always count on batteries. A little crank and you've got light. No power grid required. And honestly, when it comes to prepping, a crank lantern is non-negotiable. Now, we can't talk lighting without mentioning candles. Sure, they seem old school, but they work, and they're simple. Stock up on solid ones. Pillar candles or soy candles last longer and are less messy. But don't get careless. Open flames can turn one crisis into multiple crises real fast. Use fireproof holders and never, and I mean never, leave them burning unattended. The last thing you want is to trade a blackout for a house fire. Honestly, ignoring emergency lighting preparation is tempting fate. Picture this: your house losing power. Eerie silence creeping in, with the outside world frozen in bitter cold. You're bumping into walls, frustration growing, and paranoia setting in with every shadow. Is that where you want to be? One good flashlight or lantern cuts through all of that chaos. Without it, you're at the mercy of panic and a whole lot of unknowns. When the storm hits and you're plunged into the cold void, emergency lighting isn't optional, it's survival. Don't be caught off guard. Prep your arsenal of lights and backups, because trust me, you'll need them. Better to have too many than none at all. Remember, light isn't just about comfort, it's about taking control. 2. Why a battery-powered radio is non-negotiable during a winter blackout. When winter slams you with its worst, freezing temperatures, icy winds, and power outages, you've got two choices: prepare or suffer. This isn't just about inconvenience, it's about survival. Imagine this: the power's out, the wind is howling, driving ice against your home. Your phone, it's dead, just like the power. You're isolated, blind to what's happening outside, and left with nothing but silence. Creepy, isn't it? This is exactly why a battery-powered radio isn't optional. Think of it as your lifeline. The one tool connecting you to the world when everything else fails. With no electricity, no Wi-Fi, and no working cell towers, a small, durable radio can provide life-saving updates. We're talking emergency alerts, weather warnings, and survival guidance. When every minute counts, you can't afford to guess about what's happening. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Not all radios are dependable. Cheap, flimsy ones are worthless when you need them most. If you're serious about staying alive during a winter storm, you need a well-built, reliable model. Look for a battery-powered radio that picks up AM, FM, and NOAA weather frequencies without breaking a sweat. And don't skimp on features. Many good radios now come with solar panels or a hand crank, letting you generate power even if your batteries run flat. Those extra options could literally buy you time when the situation gets ugly. Think about what's at stake. A good radio keeps you informed about storm trajectories, emergency timetables, or warnings for floods and extreme cold. Without it, you're left in the dark, literally and figuratively. You risk missing crucial information like when help is coming or whether things are getting worse. That's a gamble you don't want to take. Preparation is key, and this isn't something you can leave to chance. Invest in a sturdy, high-quality radio. Make sure to grab extra batteries and test it regularly to confirm it works when you need it to. It's money well spent. When the power is out, the ice is piling up, and the grid is down, that radio could be the one thing standing between you and disaster. Stay prepared. Don't become another statistic. 1. Fully charged power banks. Picture this. It's the middle of a brutal winter storm. The wind howls, the snow piles up outside, and suddenly, the power goes out. Darkness swallows your home and an icy chill creeps in. Now you're stuck, disconnected, and vulnerable. Without power, how will you call for help? Follow emergency updates or even check in with loved ones to see if they're safe? This is exactly why fully charged power banks are not just convenient, they're non-negotiable for your survival. Think about it. Your phone is your lifeline in a disaster. It's how you stay informed about evacuation routes, the storm's trajectory, and crucial warnings. But here's the harsh reality. Your phone battery doesn't care about your survival. It will die on you when you need it the most, unless you have a fully charged power bank ready to go. That's why iFact has the fully charged power bank ready to go. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They are survival tools. Without one, you're flying blind in a blackout, cut off from the outside world when you need connection the most. Now, don't make the mistake of relying on cheap, low-capacity power banks. Your $10 bargain bin model won't save you when your phone dies in the middle of the second day without power. What you need is a high-quality, high-capacity power bank, one that can recharge your phone multiple times over and still have enough juice left to power up other essential devices like a flashlight or a headlamp. Better yet, get one with dual charging capabilities so you can keep multiple devices running simultaneously. Trust me, when your battery-powered radio's down or your backup light gives out, that power bank is going to feel like a miracle in your hands. The truth is simple and blunt. If you haven't invested in a reliable power bank and you're not keeping it fully charged, you're playing with fire, or in this case, frostbite. Losing power in winter is not just inconvenient, it can be deadly. Imagine not being able to call for an ambulance if someone falls victim to the cold, or knowing an evacuation route only after it's too late. That's the danger of going unprepared. When winter storms hit, don't sit in the dark regretting what you didn't prepare for. Equip yourself now. Buy multiple heavy-duty power banks, charge them up, and have them ready before the lights go out. This one item could mean the difference between staying safe and being left defenseless in the cold. Power banks aren't accessories, they're survival gear.